Welcome, Survivor. A question that I get now then is, why do I place my spikes or steel spikes in this weird way in my base builds? Meaning I usually place them, let's get the, like this. I place them upside down with the pointy bit downwards and the blunt side upwards. And people think, no, well, that shouldn't work, right? I mean, they're not going to take any damage as they walk over them. But actually they do. But there are some other features as part of that I wanted to test out. So let me start by doing this. So what I usually do is I will place them, let me go down here, this way. And this is how it looks, right? It's basically like the floor continues, right? So that'll be the first one. The second one is going to be the more traditional way of putting them with the pointy side upwards. Let's do it this way. So we have 5 of them here as well. But I wanted to have a, see if I can get down here as well, not this one, here as well. But I wanted to do slightly different as well. Let me do a double row. So I have one like this, and then I have one row on top of it that is pointing upwards. Now I don't know whether this would actually impact the zombies, where they would actually take some more damage in some cases. But let's try that out. And hopefully you enjoyed this video and you subscribe and leave a like and make sure you have the notification turned on. And I said, look at me and let's do a cheerleader. All right, let's get this one out of here and let's do a cheerleader. Nope. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. No, no, get away from me. No, no, no. Okay, I'm bleeding. That went almost the way I wanted to. Right, let me heal myself up here and take some damage from the spikes here. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so that's not quite what we wanted. All right, let's try this again. Let's pretend that we didn't see that. So let's do maybe I wasn't standing properly and that's why. So let's try and put one here. Let's do a cheerleader. Yep, and let's see if we can turn off the AI. Yes. Alright, stay, don't move. Let me get over here. Let me do the same thing. And there should be good. Another cheerleader. Yep. And finally, last one here. So we're going to see whether it actually makes any difference. When they come up here, have they taken about the same amount of damage and do they die around the same time? Obviously they're standing almost in the same way. Can I take, no, I'll keep that on. They're standing almost in the same place here. So let me take off the, I'll put back the AI. No. Okay, that didn't quite work as I intended. Oh, here comes the last one. Oh, because they don't see me. That's the problem. Oh, come on. Alright, let's see what happens here then. Well, they all lose their legs. I think the interesting thing is going to be these two. And they died about the same time. So at least if they're crawling on top of it, it takes the same damage. But let me see if I can redo this. Give me a moment to clean up and we'll redo this one with all 3. Let me see if I can make them actually see me. Alright, we're back here. I put down another 3 of the cheerleaders. I made them feral this time, so hopefully they can sense me and will be running over here. So let's get that started and let's see what happens this time then. Oh, this one doesn't see me. Bit of pain, but almost. So they all come over here. They lose their legs at more or less the same time. And they crawl. They take damage. So I suspect it's going to be very similar. Obviously, there could be some minor difference when they take the damage, but otherwise it probably should be around the same amount of damage for the same amount of time. Let's see here. We go down so they all can see me. They're all crawling here on the spikes. You do see that when they walk on just a straight one, they're a little bit easier to shoot and fight. Now, since they have lost their legs, they're still pretty easy to kill. I could just smash the head off here. All right. So roughly the same time, which sort of indicates that the damage they take is equal among all these. So I think that should show that regardless of how you place them, they take about the same amount of damage. Now, there are some other ways to do this. So let's see if I get rid of these ones. Now, one interesting way of protecting your walls is actually to place spikes on the outside like this. Now, it doesn't seem to matter whether they face inward, sideways, or whatever, but it just looks better like this. So by having them this way, you'll see the zombies should be walking up, and they should be taking damage as they press themselves against the spike, trying to get this way towards me. Now, the downside, of course, is that they will be bashing the spikes, so they will take extra damage, but in some cases, it does help you, because you might want them to take some extra damage and not do as much damage to your walls, for instance. So let me spawn in something here, and let me do Folly, Darling, and a Feral, and let me get down here. So it is taking damage here, but it is beating on these ones, and I should be able to see that. Yeah, you see it's taking some damage as it's trying to claw all up here. Okay, let me see if I stand here then. I was beating something. Probably beating the... Yeah, it's beating the bulletproof glass here. But it's taking damage from the spikes, and hopefully that kills it faster sooner than slower. And even if you don't have the spikes on the bottom, because they are pressing up against the... Drink something here. Shouldn't be taking all this damage. Okay, let me get this one on. Okay. They even if you don't have the spikes underneath, because sometimes that doesn't make sense, it doesn't look good, having these ones will force the damage to be transferred to the zombie when it runs up and starts to bash them. So that can be pretty useful. Now, there are times though where the zombie could stand off further than the damage is for the spike and actually bash the spike without taking damage, but you know, that's how it works in the game. So hopefully this gives you some ideas how to place your spikes, and as you can see, you know, putting them this way or this way, you know, it's more visual. I prefer to have it straight because they don't bob up and down as they run across them or walk across them, which they do here. Doubling them up here doesn't seem to make any difference at all, so you might as well not do that. I guess there could be some cases if they happen to glitch down into the other block where it might make a difference, but I think generally doesn't, so it's a waste of steel to do that. Well, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.